that is a law that has to be followed for each and every person. That includes Jewish New Yorkers. Jewish New Yorkers deserve just as much as every other New Yorker to be safe in this city, and to also know that that safety cannot be the limit of what the city does, and let's also celebrate and cherish. And again, it cannot come down to an individual commissioner's deliberation of what they agree or disagree with. It has to come down to the question of, does this violate the law? And just to the prior question that was asked, what that audit found, we're speaking of far more than just 2 years to come to a resolution on a number of these cases. When it takes that long to come following through on fighting this kind of discrimination, and from within CCHR, we've seen timelines of more than 2 years to actually bring this to a halt. The important thing here is not just to resolve the cases in front of us, but to also make clear to all New Yorkers, we will not tolerate the violations of the law, whether it's housing or elsewhere.
I'll do my best. Okay, so the New York City Human Rights Law covers a lot of stuff, and I think that it's not always obvious what the right thing to do is. So I do think there's a lot of public education that needs to be done, not only to people about their own individual rights, but about your responsibilities as an employer and a small business, or a landlord or what have you. And also in terms of the housing discrimination, I think it's important to talk about not only about discrimination in not renting to people because of their race or their gender identity, which we see a lot of, but also housing voucher discrimination, because what is the point of all of our amazing city subsidies for people if they can't find an apartment? So that's definitely one of our priorities.
Sorry, just before you go, I would just add one thing to what the commissioner said, which is just to something that she shared in her own remarks. The intent of this position is not to find violations in small businesses across the city and then charge them for it. The intent of this position is to ensure compliance with the law. And that also means doing proactive outreach to small businesses such that they know what the rules are, as opposed to levying fine and fee upon fine and fee on them and then asking them to pay. Sorry, Hannah, I can't quite hear you. Yeah. The governor said it herself the other day about the importance of partnership. And what I would consider a win is a demonstration of the partnership that has often been missing in the relationship between City Hall and Albany, and a meaningful advance of our affordability agenda. Because so often the question, even as we are gathered here today to speak about fighting discrimination, is considered separate from an economic crisis in the city, when in fact they are tied together. There are so many in Jackson Heights that will tell you that the affordability crisis is one that they feel no matter how. I have. It's incredibly heartbreaking to witness. And I know that the police department is commencing an investigation into this incident, and I look forward to seeing the results. Welcome back, Sally. Yes, there's no question that you can play an important role in that engagement, and also that for so many of those New Yorkers who are here today with us, but also call Jackson Heights home, that it's those very kinds of institutions that are the ways in which they engage with the world around them. I can tell you that throughout the course of my mayoral campaign, there were many, many moments where I knew that the way I needed to reach a certain number of New Yorkers was by engaging exactly with publications of the kind that you're referring to. So this is going to be a focus for us as we continue to build out our communications department, is how to ensure that we are communicating in a way that is reaching every New Yorker, no matter what TV station they're turning on, what radio, or what newspaper they're reading. We will actually be